Tony, safe to assume that Darius was not the first option?
Yeah, they did actually a good job of taking our action away where we wanted to go, and it just ended up in his hands. And of course, he hit an improbable shot, and we were very fortunate. Wake Forest really outplayed us, and they did a good job, and they've been close. And I've been a part of on the other side of some of those games, so for us it was nice to be on that side of it. And I feel for Danny, and I feel for those guys, but certainly thankful.
Mike.
Malcolm did not have a great shooting night for most of the night, and then caught fire at the end. Do you just tell him to keep going ahead and shooting?
That's why you try to extend the game. You put people on the line. They missed free throws. That was obviously costly for them, and we missed some. But you just never know when a guy's going to get hot. He ran a few things, and he made some big plays. And again, I didn't expect that to happen, but fortunately, we made enough shots, and they missed enough free throws, and it played out like that.
CL, right to the left, Tony.
What did you tell them, like, it was a 10-point game with roughly a minute left in the huddle. What could you possibly tell them to keep them believing that this was?
Yeah, I didn't, nothing really. I mean, try to extend this thing. I just said, you never know. We're in the spot. I said, let's follow them. I tried to say, hey, look, if we can get it to 6 or a 2-possession game, you got a chance. Let's run our actions. Let's try to get a stop, because we couldn't get a stop all night. That was very poor. But, I don't even know what, I think we were down 14 at one point. We went zone. There you go. It shows you how desperate we were and how poor our defense was. But actually, it helped us. Just a few possessions were there. But we just said you never know. And our guys, credit to them, they showed fight in that setting. And they were saying stuff in the huddle. Let's keep trying. You never know. You never know. And that's, deep down inside, if I'm going to be honest, you're like, this isn't happening. And, and I already was frustrated about a few things the way we played. But very thankful, as I said, and feel for Danny.
Okay. Doug and then Jeff.
18 points in the last 116, I believe.
You mean 18 points combined?
No.
What? Oh, we had 18 in the last minute and 16? Yeah, we're an offensive juggernaut. So we're an offensive juggernaut. That pace of play thing, I think it's overrated. We really play fast, as you can see. So.
Can you remember another finish like that? Obviously, sometimes you probably scored 18 when teams were fouling you, but no.
No, I probably goes down as one of that many points in that amount of time. I bet, like I said, on the other end, I remember when Stanford was #1 in the country, and we were at Washington State when my father was coaching, and I think we were up 5 with like 8 seconds, ended up losing. Obviously, the Miami game in the ACC tournament when we were up 10 with about 45 seconds, and they came back. We missed free throws, and they beat us in overtime, but not quite like that. And even at that shot, that he hit, so that was one definitely for the memory.
Jeff.
There was the officials went over and reviewed the time and ended up putting 9/10 of a second.
4, yep.
To go from 3.1 to 4.
Probably needed it, huh?
Where do you that, hey, that might be a factor?
I mean, we just said, when they miss free throws, you got 4 dribbles if you get it. And, again, they did a good job taking away what we wanted to. We had a couple options. And again, I'm sure people talk about it. Thankfully, that gave us time to at least get a semblance. All right, here's where we're going to spread the floor. Here's what we're going to do and have a chance at something. But the shot he made was so well contested. But, yeah, we needed all that time.
Mike and then Whitey.
Tony, there was a point that Darius seemed like he had been a starter, and then he slid to sort of being the guy you put in the foul. Where's he at?
I mean, you can see we're struggling a little bit, or we struggle. I thought we played good basketball the last 2 games, and I didn't think we played real solid. Again, a credit to Wake Forest. They were supercharged. They're close. That tells you this league. They're 1-7. Syracuse was 3-5. We're 5-3. We could be, 2-6 or 6-2 easily. That's how it is. But as I said today, we're struggling a little bit, and I told our guys, Mariel hadn't been playing, Evan hadn't been playing much, and we put them in, and they got some opportunities, and they did some good things. Darius, the ball went through his hands. He's not been playing great. Maybe this will be a boost, but we've got to keep trying to find. I'm still searching, trying to find rotations. I thought I had one, and then, not so much, but we'll keep working.
Whitey, and then we'll take one in the back.
Were you surprised over here, Tony, that he made the second free throw after he missed the first one? It seemed like maybe they could chew up more clock.
Well, with 4 seconds, though, no, I would not question that. With 4 seconds, I know what you're saying. I think you could have gotten a rebound in 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you're right on that edge of 4 seconds. If it's 2 or 2.5, 3, maybe, but 4, that gives you some time to push down the floor and maybe get a shot. I think that's from that standpoint.
Take one in the
But it
back.
did help us at least get a pass, and I understand what you're asking.
Coach, you said down the stretch you weren't even expecting it yourself, to come out with this kind of win. What kind of jolt does this do for your season? I know you guys have been struggling on the road. What does it do for you overall?
Remains to be seen. I don't know. It's such a hard league. We didn't play very well, as I said. We've got to improve. We'll take the win. The quality wasn't there the way we needed to, but it did, I guess, get the monkey off our back as far as a road win in the conference. And every win it's a fight for us for sure. And in this league, it's so deep and so balanced in a lot of ways. And so we're fortunate, and they were hungry to win, and they played that way. They played with urgency and played well. So again, we're fortunate.